Um, Hello. Hi, guys. How are you doing today? My name is Noor Al Masri and I am tax professional. I help entrepreneur stop overpaying in taxes because most people are overpaying in taxes. So I wanted to go live today in this busy time, busy tax season, to answer some questions that have been coming our way. I did a story yesterday regarding your questions, and I got some questions. And then we also sent an email to our community and we received some questions. So today I'll be answering some of these questions. And if you are here with us live, feel free to post your question and the comment, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Also, if you are watching on a replay, you can still comment with your question, and we will be monitoring these questions, and I'll be answering that in the future lives. All right, let's get started. So, I want to address one thing very, very important. Since it's tax season, a lot of fraud get activated. So we've been receiving so many emails, and I've heard from a lot of clients of ours also receiving same emails about tax organizer because most tax professional, or not most, a lot of tax professionals use organizers. So the frauds, like they're trying to get into your data, they're trying to get into your stuff. So they've been sending, oh, the tax organizer has been updated. We've received this for so many times in the last few days from so many different email addresses. So be careful now. Like if you receive any email or any phone call requiring that is not from your tax professional, for sure that is not, like, IRS will not call you. So that, don't let someone tell you, hey, we are IRS, we want to verify your account, because that's also happening. So you want to make sure your community, your information is safe. You're only communicating securely with your tax professional. um, again, IRS will not call you. They only will only send you a letter. So don't fall for any of these phone calls. So you're not they're not getting your identity theft. So you don't want to get into that. Now, this is what I wanted to get in the beginning of this live. And if you guys know anyone be who might maybe will feel a victim on those emails, those phone calls, do share this video with them and let them know that is a fraud. So again, IRS will never call you. um, so we'll begin now when answering the questions. So one question that we received, because I've been talking a lot on YouTube about March 15, but for this year, since we are in 2026, March 15 comes in the weekend, so the real deadline is March 16. So a lot of people got confused, like, okay, we know our taxes due on April 15. Why are you keep talking about March 15, March 16? So here's why. Because business owners who have S corporation, has partnership, or multi-member LLC, they are actually they have to file their taxes by March 16 this year. Usually March 15, but again, because it's a weekend, so it's the next business day, which is March 16. So if you have S corporation, if you have partnership, if you have a multi-member LLC, all of these filing are due on March 16. So that's what I'm talking about. Now, only for people who have LLCs, who you're filing your personal returns, then you can file actually by April 15. So this is the first question. And again, feel free to post your question here, and I'll be happy to answer it. But I have 3 questions, then I'll get to your questions in the comments. I see here a comment on Instagram with a question. Keep those comments and questions coming. I will be looking at that after I answer the questions on my list. So the second question is it better to file now or file an extension? So it really depends. For me, like if there is no specific reason or valid reason that will make you have to do an extension, then what I would do, I would just file now to make sure, like, okay, you are focused on this year, not on last year. So you can make this year a successful year, especially for you guys, business owner. Now, if you maybe want to do a contribution for one of your retirement account like Roth, SEP IRA, any of these contributions, this is one of the reasons why you might want to do an extension. So you can have extra time to contribute. So if you are not able to do the contribution now and you want to have extra time to contribute, you want to do it, and you want to make an extension. So by filing an extension, now we have to distinguish between 2 things. If you are filing an extension for your S corp, partnership, or LLC, so the deadline, like I said, it will be March 16, then you want to file an extension and that's it. You're not required to do anything else. But you want to make sure you file an extension by the deadline, because if you don't file it then, you will not be able to file it later. So it must be filed by the deadline. So this is one thing. Now, if you did not want to file your LLC, which is in your personal return, and you may owe taxes, you want to make sure you pay the taxes you might owe. You have to estimate those taxes, because the extension is an extension to file, not an extension to pay. And they are 2 different things. Again, it's an extension to file, not an extension to pay. So IRS expects you to pay whatever you might owe in taxes by April 15, and then you can have an extension to file your return. So maybe you are waiting for some forms, maybe you are a partner in a partnership and they did an extension, then you have to do an extension in your personal return because you have to get those information. But if you think you might owe, you want to make sure you pay those taxes. Now, if you don't owe, you are fine, but make sure you file on time or file an extension. So you don't have to pay anything if you think you don't owe, you're not going to owe any taxes. So this is the answer for the question number 2. Question number 3, does it matter if I have 1099 or W-2 when I'm filing? Okay, so yes, it does, but also it depends. So W-2, if you're just having a W-2, meaning you are an employee and you don't have any side hustle that you get 1099 for, or any business, or you're not sole proprietor, you're just focused on W-2 and that's the only source of income you get, then your return is very simple. You just have to file, and then you will get you will pay any extra taxes you have, or you will get the refund if you do a refund from the state or from your federal. For 1099, so 1099, especially if the 1099 NEC specifically, so 1099 NEC, that is going to make your return a business tax return. There is no difference if you are officially registered as an LLC or not. Once you have that 1099, that will make your personal return a business return. And that is filed within your personal return, but with a specific schedule which called Schedule C, Schedule C is technically the profit and loss for your business. So that is filed within your personal return. So now your personal return is more complicated. However, you get a lot of benefit because now you get to take deductions. So that's the main difference. And of course, also if you, because some people, they are hired by the employer in 1099. So you are responsible to pay your taxes. That's like a freelancer. So you are responsible to pay your taxes. So if you, no one is withholding your taxes. So if you owe taxes, you are expected to pay estimated taxes if you think you're going to owe at the end of the year. So there's a lot more to that, but I wanted to answer the basics based on these questions. So last question I have here, do I need LLC to get deductions for my side hustle? So again, do I need to have an LLC to get deductions for my side hustle? Now, it depends. Like side hustle, like is it a hobby or is it a business, or you are planning to have it as a business? So how are you treating the side hustle? Because if it's a hobby, you cannot deduct anything. But if it's a business, or even if you're still losing money, if you're still not making any money, you can still take deductions even if it's not officially an LLC. The same way you take the deductions for the LLC. So you can. Now, if it's a hobby, IRS will not allow you to take any deductions. So that is the simple answer. Now I have a question on the comment. What are some common deductions people usually miss? That's a great question. Usually what I've seen, a lot of people miss home office deduction. They miss the mileage. And sometimes, believe it or not, they miss taking any expenses because they treat themselves as an employee, because they're only working for one employer and they give them 1099. So they don't think of the, oh, I have to take deduction now, or I'm eligible for deductions. They think they have to pay taxes and that's it. But you actually can take deductions when that happens because you are in 1099. You are treated as a business. Now, the most common deduction is really home office deduction. I see people also miss education deduction. There's two, well, this is not a deduction, this is a tax credit. So they miss taking tax credits. They miss take mileage all the time, meals, because they don't keep track of it. And of course, what I see missed all the time, people don't plan for their taxes, so they don't do tax planning. So they miss a lot and a lot of opportunities. And if you want me to talk about that in a future video or a future live, make sure comments under this video, whatever the platform you are watching from, and I'll make sure to make another live about the planning. So you can also subscribe to YouTube. We share like videos every single week. Every Monday, I have a long video, not very long. It's only like 5 to 7 minutes usually, but I share information about like how to run your business and save, well, actually how to save taxes when you run your business, how to make sure you keep the money within your business or within your family, or support a cause that you want to support legally. All right. So subscribe and let me know in the question what you want me to talk about. I don't have a time that I go live on, like specific time, because it's tax season and I'm really busy at this time. But I want to make sure, like from time to time, to come and say hi and let you know about any updates, remind you, answering your questions. So make sure you subscribe to get a notification when I go live so you can ask me your questions. And again, you can comment under the video with your questions. That's it for today. I'll see you later.